Okay, so like I gotta get this out. I gotta get this out.
Oh shit, he's getting the fuck up.
So
What the fuck?
the main thing that I believe, shut up. The main thing that I think Americans need to do to be better and to better each other.
Nigga, if you don't 6 your ass down.
Shut up. Is to stop being such massive fucking pussies.
Nah, nigga,
the
you
world
supposed to
does
say dick
not
riders.
fucking revolve around you, you ignorant fucking peon.
All right.
Stop being so okay.
6
now
your ass
I
down.
gotta no. All right.
Damn.
It was actually
All
dick
of that
riders.
way.
I had
I'ma
to
just say
fucking
that.
put that out there. I had to because every
Starring Kalashnikov, AnonYmiss Sol, Timothy Rock, Duke. Time to put on those tinfoil hats.
So we gonna start this.
So
So my name is Timothy Raw. This is motherfucking Great Apes Cafe. I forgot what number of episode this is.
nigga who's counting.
I don't even know my damn
I
self.
don't think we should.
I stopped counting after the
I don't think
second
we should count.
episode.
I have two special guests, definite friends of mine. I'm gonna start it off. Well, you go ahead and introduce yourself. What's your name, motherfucker?
Kalashnikov, and I'm ready to start this shit because I know this shit about to be straight heat. God damn it!
Let me tell you something. My name is Dylan. I spit hot fire now.
Dylan.
Yeah, I was about to choke
What's
on my
your
fucking drink.
What's your name, Chief?
Yo, anti-zero.
Where you from?
Man.
What it is? What it do?
Sea Breeze, North Carolina. You
Sea
know what time it is,
Breezy.
man.
Make sure that mic. Let me microphone check, man. Tevin, help him out. He's slipping.
Check,
He
check,
on my
check,
DMX.
Yeah.
Help him out. He on my DMX
What we
slipping and
got, what we got?
falling.
Good, you hear vocals coming through?
Alrighty.
Yeah.
And I am AnonYmiss Sol with the truth to be heard and the truth to be told, So
And we about to talk about some real shit. I'm gonna start off the topic. It's gonna be some this episode. I'm really actually beyond excited because I feel like the gravity of topic will be deep.
Bro, we about to bang you over the fucking head with some shit like G shit. Like, yo.
Viewer discretion, it is advised. I mean, we're gonna talk about some gangster shit. And the topic basically.
What they say, TVMA?
Damn
this
right.
is this is definite. America can accept a transsexual who has changed their whole identity or sex, but can't accept a felon who has changed their lifestyle. That's
God
what I want
almighty,
to start with that topic. I want to start off with that. I have family members who is incarcerated. I have friends who came out of prison and who have went back. You know who you are. And I have friends also who associate themselves with the LGBTQ community. I have family members who have sex change. And you know who you are. If you're seeing this, I still got love for you. So I hope anybody's not too sensitive. Americans are so sensitive. I live in America. I'm from New York. I live right now in Wilmington, North Carolina. But Americans are sensitive. But that topic, basically stating that, you can basically have your sexual identity change. You could go through a metamorphosis, but you can't go through the same processes coming out of prison unless we're not. It's like that's not fair in a sense.
Bro, point blank period. And my dad, it was either my dad or my grandfather who told me this shit. The worst thing that you can do to a man who is trying to change their life is to remind them of the mistakes that they have made. To constantly beat them over the head with all of the shit that they have done in their past. Mind you, they are trying to fucking change. And that is going to make it harder for somebody coming out of the penitentiary to be able to fucking condition themselves into the real fucking world when they've been isolated for so fucking long. And the first thing that you fucking do when they get out is, oh, you got a felon. You a felon. You a felon.
Well,
you a
they be
beat.
on their ass, too,
And then
like-
you get rejected everywhere you fucking go
Facts.
just based off of that. But you can accept somebody who cut their dick off for a fucking vagina.
All right, speaking really, like, I did 3.5 years in prison for trafficking cocaine. I just happened to be one of the lucky ones where my family had, ties in the film business to be able to get on and have a very successful life. But I watched my brothers, man, we always gang. they don't have those same chances as me. And I
Not a
know
lot of
that they
people
don't.
have
I
that
can preach to
opportunity.
them all day long about, hey man, you need to change how you. But I was handed like
A blessing.
And,
Literally a
but
whole
still,
blessing.
it doesn't stop me from encouraging them to give these people something less to look at.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But I know that it is systematic racism, man. It was built up way long before we got here, man. These motherfuckers had it planned out on how they were gonna do it with the credit thing and all of this shit. Like, goddamn, we can have super fine credit and we'll still get denied versus a person of Caucasian.
They've been redlining for years now.
Of Caucasian ethnicity that would, they'll be more susceptible to getting accepted by these creditors.
Right.
How do you feel about it? Just the whole entire idea in general.
Okay, so I will start off from the first part. I feel as if where America is we are accepting being transsexual. Okay, so me being a female, actually being bisexual, if you want to say, like putting a label on it.
Okay.
I can understand from both sides. Like a lot of situations, and I'm not gonna say for everybody. I'm speaking for me. Let me just make that clear.
Right.
I have I've seen from my part of where I have been done wrong by so many men, to where it makes me want to gravitate towards a female's touch, or being nurtured or being cared about and loved for a lot more. But at the end of the day, the way that I feel like nature's laws. Let's just say it like that. Nature's laws. A man is made for a woman at the end of the day. Like, even though, and you can say it if females want to get upset about that, you can say at the end of the day, that man is made for you.
Right.
We are made for each other. We are here to be on this earth to procreate, and I feel like we make life harder by falling into society and going by what they tell us to do.
Right.
So when it come down to what, this topic where transsexuals are more accepted than a felon.
Right.
When a man
Preach. Jesus
But
Christ.
I'm going to say this,
That shit just doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
I just want to say this. Now, I honestly feel like that situation itself is fucked up. Like, it's really messed up, because if you can accept somebody that wants to change their whole identity, why can't you accept for somebody that wants to change their lifestyle to be better? They've been incarcerated for however long they sentenced were, or however they they were sentenced.
right.
They've been in that prison. They've been in that same cell.
But I can see right now, I can hear
like,
people will argue right now.
it's
with
okay.
me.
They can have that
They
argument.
will literally say, "Well,
They
we
can
do
have that
already do have
argument.
some programs that can help with that change."
And it's the same
Do
thing.
you think
where
those programs are helpful?
And why does it have to be a program? Why
Exactly.
can't it just be
Like, I'ma
okay?
just
This
look
Why,
at
man
you
made a
on
why does
mistake.
there have to be a
Like, what?
program for you to just be yourself?
Like, what the
Exactly.
fuck?
So look,
Like, why this, that's
And
like
then I
putting
just
kids,
wanna
that's like
speak
putting
on-
kids on ADHD medicine just because they're hyper. That makes no fucking
That's a
sense.
children. That's a
They're
child.
fucking
my
kids.
fucking
Right.
Hey, listen,
God.
they
All
tried to
right.
put my son on that shit.
So
But there
I
is
can
always.
actually be a person that can speak on that shit, because I was put on it when I was younger. From being in
Adderall,
4th grade all the way up to
Ritalin.
11th grade, I was put on
Man, that
Adderall.
shit
I was
ain't it.
prescribed Adderall,
You see what
and
these
it's
drugs
literally
do
the
to
most
adults?
traumatizing thing that you
You're not
can actually
yourself.
experience.
Everybody I know
because
who is on there, then you're not
anybody
yourself.
that, if you are a parent and you have prescribed your child on Adderall, Ritalin,
You failed.
Then you
Vyvanse,
have
so I'm
given
not
up.
even gonna say you failed.
Oh, you failed.
I'm gonna say that you are missing some steps with your child. You are not talking to your child enough to understand why they are
Communication is
acting
key,
out in the
absolutely.
way that they are.
All right.
Hold on 1 second. Like, you just, because I'm just speaking from, what I have been through. Like, this is something I wish I could tell my mom, but she ain't going.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that a lot of parents are not going to accept when they hear it from you as you get
Okay.
older.
Okay.
So it was kind of hard. It's kind of hard because it's like, you suppressed me for so many years.
Right.
I didn't know how to express myself.
Microphone
I didn't
check.
know how to microphone
good,
check.
yeah,
I didn't
microphone
know how to express myself, or I didn't know how to deal with certain emotions.
Right.
So as I get, as I get home and I come off of this medicine, I'm always angry. That's
Right.
the first emotion that you can feel.
Right.
That's like, that anybody is going to understand, because when you get upset, that's the first thing you see. Like, why are you so upset?
Right.
Well, my whole thing is me not knowing at a young age, is because I've been suppressed and not being able to feel throughout the whole day. Like not being able to feel
when's
who
the
I
last time
am.
you did? When was the last time your medication was supplied?
11th grade.
January
That's good.
26,
11th grade.
2007.
The fact that
That
you
was the
remember
last fucking
That's
day
real.
that I stopped taking fucking Adderall. And that was the last. I love you, Grandma.
Right,
I love you
period.
so fucking much because you saw that. I love Granddaddy
Love
too
you,
because
Grandma.
both of y'all
Man,
fucking
look.
saw that shit. Y'all saw that
wasn't
shit
right.
was turning me into somebody who
That
I
was
went
not-
from being a fucking
Kid.
a kid who could actually be a kid to a
Right.
fucking zombie.
Zombie.
And let me
That's how it make you feel though. A lot of people don't understand that.
and
I'm not
shit.
gonna lie, though.
I don't want to cut
It
you
has
off.
an effect
Bro,
on
Go ahead,
different
go ahead.
people. Like,
I
it
gotta
affect
voice
you
this
differently.
out.
Please
All
do.
you motherfucking parents, stop acting like you know your fucking kids because you know your fucking self. That is a
Right.
completely
Yeah,
different
that's true.
fucking human.
That's true.
Okay? Just because you know yourself does not mean that that child is gonna be exactly like you.
No disrespect though.
No, fuck.
No,
I'm
this
bringing
is-
all the fucking disrespect in the fucking world because you know what type of parent you are. You know you a lazy ass fucking piece of
Know
shit
who you are.
wants to
Lazy.
put pills in your fucking child's brain and,
And
then
honestly-
stick them in front of a goddamn TV.
That's a whole
You're a
nother-
piece
Thank
of
you.
shit.
I'ma
That's a
say
lot- that's a
this.
whole
He's
Thank
nother-
fucking
you.
right.
That's
You
a
do
whole
not
nother.
deserve to be a fucking parent at
Hold
the
on,
end of
wait
the
a
day.
minute.
I'm done.
I do need to talk about that statement at
And
some
me
point.
too. I got something to say too.
But let me just reiterate the whole situation when Americans can accept the whole transsexual change, but can't accept a felon change in their life.
Right.
There's always an exception to the rule. The exception to the rule is this. When I look on my phone and I see pedophiles in my neighborhood
Man.
based on certain apps, let's say if they really did change their life, their mindset, their ideology, their spirit, does that same rule apply? Because in my mind, it's like you still did the time. You still committed a crime to have the audacity to fuck a child, right? Or push your hand on a child, or been misogynist towards a child. And then you turn around and say you change, but that child has to grow up with the trauma
Of what the fuck
of
you
what
did
they've
to
been
them.
through.
A grown
Now
ass
there's
man
always
or
an
woman.
exception to a rule, always. So that's my exception. Even if somebody was a felon and committed a crime, when it comes to pedophilia, I cannot accept they change because in my
Anybody who comes out of their fucking face and says that
I'm
fucking
sorry,
pedophilia
I just-
is a
yeah.
sexuality, I'm beating the
That's
fuck
it.
out of you.
Let me
Look,
just tell you, look.
Nigga, y'all don't understand, nigga. Like, they run the fucking world. Like, I work for the goddamn nigga. Whatever the fucking name you want to put on it. I work for these motherfuckers and they goddamn powerful, nigga.
Let me
That
ask
is
you
Alright.
this.
Satan's children, nigga.
Can I?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Nigga,
I
they
just
work-
had before
they-
we get deep into this conversation, I wanted to say something to you about what you just said about what you being like. I ain't
You
know,
were
I mean,
absolutely right,
You being
boy.
on Adderall as you as
Microphone
a
check.
child, like-
Microphone check.
Well, you being on Adderall as a child, like I can understand, like you actually had where your family members actually seen where you were changing. You get what I'm saying? My
some
family
females
was
don't even see that.
I ain't had that
That's a
shit.
dang-
You
that's
get what I'm saying? So
dangerous.
I'm on my own on
With your
this.
grandma and granddaddy?
Like, so
Your grandma and grandpa?
My
Seen
dad-
it? You say
Actually,
she
for real,
She didn't have that protection.
For real, my granddad saw that. Because,
Yeah.
like, all right, a little bit about myself. All right, so I was in foster care for the longest amount of time, and then my grandparents, I don't know how, this was just luck. It was just
That was a
fate.
blessing
Like,
for
I just, like, out of the blue, it's just, I get pulled over to the side. It's like, oh, I have your grandmother to come see you. And then I see her, and then the first thing that comes out of her mouth is, yeah, that's my grandchild. And I love my granddad to death because as soon as she called him to let him know where the fuck I was, she said, my granddad, I swear to God, if I'm lying, I'm flying. My granddad told my grandma straight up, if you don't bring my grandchild home, don't come home.
right.
And that just let me know what type of love I had.
You have a lot
That's
of
real.
love and protection.
And
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
people don't
support
have- a lot of-
around you. Because I
lot
can
of
that
honestly
shit never
say
fucking
this.
happened.
Look,
You
Shouts
live in
to
a
your
world-
grandpa.
Bro,
most
straight
Shouts to
up,
your
straight
grandpa,
up. If that
boy.
shit never fucking happened, I would not be in this fucking podcast.
Right.
I wouldn't meet these fucking people.
Right.
I would have
Bro.
never met you. I would have never met DJ Barbarian. I would have never had any of this fucking shit, bro. And it was because it's somebody who was able to sit here and be able to
see you.
sniff the fucking bullshit out and be like, yo, I'm not gonna be a part of this.
Look, my dad knew from the fucking rip. If you look at my fucking record, man, you'll see they wanted to put me on Ritalin. Ritalin was the first thing
That
they
ain't
had.
it either.
Man, look.
I'm
That
37
shit
years
been not
old.
it,
They
bro.
tried to put me on Ritalin when I was in like second grade.
Hey, fix your
And
mic.
my-
Microphone check.
And my daddy wasn't fucking having it, dog. He wasn't
I
fucking
could just
having
say,
it.
like-
They wanted to put my son on it. I've been raising him since he was 2.5 years old. He about to be 16. Because, well, all right, let me tell you something, man. With these pharmaceutical companies, it is fucking alchemy, dog. It is fucking alchemy. It is wizardry. It is motherfucking witchcraft that they're putting there. It's a fucking potion. That's what the fuck they putting on these goddamn
And
children.
it's sad. I mean, we live in a
That's
society.
literally what the fuck it is a goddamn potion.
We live in a society where you have now cops who will tell a EMT that you need to put this patient, this person is being hostile, they're being deranged on medication, and you could fact check me. Some of these medications are killing people.
All of them.
Majority, you give
And
me.
let me.
Hey, y'all know what
it's
Adderall
sad.
I'm
mean?
not trying.
Nah,
I'm sorry to
come
cut
on,
y'all
you
off, but I
good,
gotta say
because I
this.
ain't
Now that
even-
we're on medicine, bro, any of you who thinks that this medicine is gonna make you feel better, it's not.
It's
not.
gonna help one.
Do y'all
The
know what
one
Adderall-
thing.
Let me ask y'all, and let me ask y'all, and let me
Yeah.
ask y'all a question. Okay, have you ever been in a fucking hospital where there's no sick people? Have you ever heard of a doctor being able to take a month-long vacation because he has no fucking patients because all of them are well?
Because they're not trying to fix
all
people.
of this pharmaceutical shit is literally it fixes.
It always
It
gives you the
never
Band-Aid.
really fixes. It never really
It's just a
fixes the
Band-Aid
problem.
on a
It
pipe.
suppresses
It
it.
suppresses it.
It's
That's
a
it.
Band-Aid on a stab
That's,
wound.
And when it
that's
comes
what
back,
I wanted to say.
when that motherfucker
But that's
comes
the
back,
industry.
after
Y'all
they
already
suppress
know
it,
it's the industry.
when it
So
comes
look,
back,
Speak your shit. Speak your shit.
Back on, because I was like, there was really a conversation that, like, it wasn't, because I
She
feel
said
like we could connect
conversation
on this
that.
shit, because I never really knew, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't know a lot of people that have been through what I've been through, you get what I'm saying? And you've had a different type of support or outcoming from it. And me, I had to bring myself out of it. I had to make that decision for myself. Like my mom had it to where my school, like my nurse at the school, she would have my medicine ready for me. I would take it before I leave the
Parents,
house.
don't give
and
the
when I
school
get-
power over your
when
children.
when I get to school, you get what I'm saying? So
Right.
once I come down off of the medicine, before I go home, I got to take some more. My mom would always talk about how I would crash and I would be so angry and I'd be so upset, like just lashing out on everybody. And it's like I finally get to the age that I am now, and I'm just now realizing why.
And you
know,
want to
like-
know the
It's
fucked up thing.
Big dangers.
You want to know the fucked up thing about this shit? And it's like, all right, you giving these kids all this fucking medicine, and they have all these fucking side effects. Do you honestly think they're gonna learn
And
anything?
guess what? A lot of parents, they don't see. For my mom, for what she did, she honestly thought that it was the best thing for me. A lot of parents are left with no other outcome. Like they don't know what to do at this point.
well, check this
They
out.
just don't
it's
know how to
like
be a
they-
parent.
So fucking
Hold on,
blind.
they honestly
Right.
they feel like this. The doctor sit there and talk shit. They gonna talk their shit. They gonna put it in your head, put it in
Yep.
your parent head.
Yep.
Depending on how strong that person is at that time.
Yep.
And like when you're really looking for help,
That's their
it's
job.
like at that time you like
Yep.
I just take whatever,
Whatever,
whatever
yep.
is gonna help
It's-
at this
it's-
time. So it's like. Now
But the problem-
I don't even blame my mother.
Parents
for putting me
want
on
the
it. Like, it's
society
like,
want
You
children to
can't.
be an adult,
I just look at it
like kids to be an
Shit,
adult.
no.
You
know
look
what I
at
mean?
it being
That's
a
the problem.
parent now and being a parent then, the resources that they had back then, they like what we have now is not. It wasn't available back
That
then.
wasn't
You have a lot
shit.
of, you have a
It
lot of
wasn't-
information
You
out
don't
here
have a
nowadays.
lot of parents trying to talk to them about, how to deal with your emotions or,
You
what
want to
you're
know why?
feeling.
You want to know why? Because 9 times out of 10, those parents don't know how to deal with their fucking
That's
emotions.
true.
They don't- they
That's
So
feel
how the
like-
fuck are they
true.
gonna teach their kids how to deal with their
It's-
emotions when they're
So
still
it's
trying
like-
to fucking fix
You
themselves?
know what Adderall
It's
means,
like
bro?
kids
What does it
having
mean?
kids.
No, no, no.
You want to know what Adderall means?
Yes.
All right, check this out. I looked at the word one day, and you could ask all my people from Seabreeze, boy, they know I always been on that so-called crazy shit. Now it's not crazy no more.
Yeah.
It's just that I knew shit way ahead of before my fucking time, bro.
Right.
All right, look up the word adder. ADDER.
Right.
That is a fucking serpent. Then you put ALL on the end of it. We want to snake all.
Yeah, that ain't it.
Look it up. Look
I mean,
it up. Hey, we got goddamn phones everywhere.
A snake
Hey, anybody
is,
listening to this podcast, look it up. ADDER. Adder.
It's a snake.
It's a motherfucking snake. And then you put ALL on the end of it. Adder all. Snake all. It's fucking witchcraft.
I mean, if you look at medicine, though,
that's all it is.
The
and
medical,
I learned that on my own.
The medical
ain't a motherfucking soul in this
symbol,
world taught me that, boy.
but that medical
I
symbol
looked at
is
the
a
prefix
snake.
and the suffix
It is a
of the
serpent.
word.
It is a serpent.
And not a lot of
This
people
is
are
what
willing to
Dr.
proof
said.
check shit like that.
The medical seal is a
It's a
serpent.
serpent.
Though. Like the seal
The
of
Blue
medicine.
Cross and Blue Shield, they got the snake all over the
Right,
motherfucker.
right, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Come on, man. This is witches doing y'all shit. This
But
is witches doing
nobody
y'all
want to
lot of
pay
shit,
people-
attention
man.
to that. That's
Nobody
want
wanna pay attention.
No, because
Hey,
when
can
you're
explain
looking
it.
for the help, you're not worried about whether it's legit. You just want the fucking.
Now, some
Well,
people-
that's right.
I'm
But
gonna
the
say
world
this,
that
though.
we live in, they're not going to just help you, just to help you. No, they
For
want
one-
to benefit off your ass
Yeah.
in some type
Our
of way.
Lord gave us power over all these things on this fucking earth, and you rather go to the witch doctor than to pull that shit out of your own body and your own spirit to fix your goddamn self.
Now, some people
God didn't
argue.
God didn't put us down here without the tools and
That
things
is
that we
actually
need
true.
to survive.
That's real
That's
shit.
true.
He did not put us down here. We chose to go to those things when we didn't want to look deep enough within our fucking self with the power that he fucking gave us.
And even
Some people
if
will
from-
say, though, I must interject. Some people argue that it's always an exception to the rule situation.
Of course.
You do have some children who might need Adderall.
That
right?
But why do they need it?
However, I'm gonna talk on that statement in a minute. You have so many people in this planet in the United States of America. When you have a child who just want attention, who just want love, who just want their parents' attention,
Right.
who may get in a little mischief, and you automatically assume that they need Adderall or this medication. That is deviant. That is
exactly
a great
what it is.
sadness.
Well,
And
that's what the
it's
doctor
these
tells
doctors,
you, though.
The doctors,
They get paid for that.
They
Let's
get
say
paid
a doctor
to
get
put that
extra
shit out
money.
there.
If
well, maybe
when a
we
doctor
need to try this because if he's
Right,
acting
and
like
they get
this, we
paid
need
money
to
for
try
and
that.
then just
Like,
turn your child
Yeah.
into a
And at the
fucking
end of the
lab
day,
rat.
you
zombie,
become an
man.
You just turn
experiment for them.
your fucking child into a lab rat. And okay,
And for the
hold on.
record, Americans, all of us are lab rats. For the goddamn
Everybody
record.
on this
For the
fucking
goddamn
planet
record.
is a lab rat. Let's just be
Okay.
real.
Going back,
Like,
going back
I
on,
can't argue.
on
I
what
can't-
he was speaking on.
I can't
going
disagree
back,
with that statement.
Nah, with
Going
food,
back
water, the air, like everything has been fucking poison at the end of the day.
Hey, where the
We've
Gen
all
X
been
at, though?
tested
Hey,
on.
shout out to the Gen X. Shout out to the Gen X.
Fuck
Nigga
out
put
of
up a
here.
bottle of alcohol. How done. But you know what?
Dead.
What I said earlier, the exception of the rule. There's other things out there in nature that can help with instead of having Adderall, there's herbs. All right, there's different things.
Yeah,
Dr.
man.
different
Sabi,
type of
Dr.
foods.
Sabi said he can
Yo.
cure it all.
RP to
Why
RP
you
to
think they killed
Dr.
him?
And that's why
Sebi
they
is the
killed him.
only person
They killed his ass for
who
it.
actually beat the United States Congress
And the Supreme Court.
on
And the Supreme
curing
Court.
AIDS, diabetes. It's crazy.
And of course
Oh,
they
don't
killed them
forget
all.
about
Once you
the-
get
hey.
the cure, once you
Hey.
get the cure for AIDS and all these fucking
Something that
diseases
they told us that
bro,
wasn't
once
able to
you
be
find
cured.
a way
You're
to
dead.
eradicate
You're a
that
dead
shit,
man. You're a dead
You're
man.
a dead man.
Oh, don't forget about
Of course.
a couple of years ago that plane that went down in Malaysia had four
Bro, I
scientists on
literally
it.
just watched
Had
that
four
shit.
scientists on it that had discovered their own cure without Dr. Sabi, and they were gonna give it out for goddamn free. Let's not forget them.
I ain't even know
That's
that
scary.
shit.
Yeah, I heard
I
about that.
literally
And
just
going
watched the video today.
That
Oh,
is a
that.
conspiracy level
Let's not
theory
forget that.
statement. However, I can't agree or disagree with that statement.
Okay,
Let us
and
not
I heard
forget
about
that.
that.
Going back on what he was saying earlier about this. Okay, he brought this up on a religious standpoint. Now I want to speak to motherfuckers who don't believe in God. Do you honestly fucking believe that we were put on this fucking planet with no direction?
Some of them
From a
do.
science,
But
from a
some of them, from their
scientific
perspective-
standpoint, do you really think that we were just brought over here just to fucking procreate? No. Look at all the fucking shit that we've done.
What they think.
Look at all the fucking shit, all the things that we as Americans, not fuck the world for a second. Let's talk about the shit that America has fucking done. All the shit that we've gone through, all the diseases that we've had to fucking persevere
People are-
through.
but you have
Do you
some people
really
argue-
think that we're all out
But some
here
people-
unarmed?
Some people do believe that though. You have people who believe
everything put out here to destroy us. We have power over that shit,
Your
man.
president of the United States of America stated
Fuck Trump.
that you should put...
For the record.
Hold on, let me interject. He stated that you should put disinfectant, or is it bleach?
And chlorophyll.
And you know
your
I want to say this right now. I say
somebody
fuck Trump.
tried it and died. You heard about that, though, right?
Trump, not because he's the president, but because he shouldn't be.
But guess what?
Absolutely.
Guess what? No,
I have a lot of constituents who disagree.
Let me tell y'all
I have a lot of
juice or whatever.
constituents that would disagree, but I'll talk about
All right, but let me tell y'all something. Where really, this is where a lot of people fuck up when it come down to put the political, parties or whatever. Like, y'all really got to understand that it don't matter how many times you go in there to fucking vote, that president has already been picked.
Do y'all
that Congress has already
some will argue.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm
and
going to
honestly,
say this though, sis.
the only reason
some will
listen,
argue with that statement and
I
disagree
know,
highly.
But this is why they're going to disagree highly is because of the fact that we've had our ancestors fight for this shit. You get what I'm saying? We've had our ancestors fight for being able to vote. We weren't able to vote. We didn't have no voice. You get what I'm saying?
Jim Crow had a lot of them
at the end of the day, I still have my own grandmother. She tell me, like, you should vote. And I'm just looking at her. I'm like, Grandma, but within yourself, that even if you do go in there and then vote, go and vote for whoever you want to vote for, the electoral votes go over you.
All right, for the record.
And that's just that. Like, that's
speaking
just
the God's honest motherfucking
that's just
truth.
the truth. And
y'all
look,
who pay
I've never
attention
been
to this popularized, this popularity contest, this glamorized popularity contest that he put. Every one of them motherfuckers that even become, if they're eligible to become the last two candidates, they are already in motherfucking pocket. It's puppets and strings in this
think about
bitch.
this too.
We're talking about global shit.
Look. It's bigger than that.
The Congress and the U.S. do not run shit. It is these global elitists that run this goddamn world, whether you're in America or
it's
not.
a third dimension type thing. Like, they don't run nothing though.
So let me ask you something. I'm not saying
Rothschild is one of them.
Goddamn. Let me ask you something though on this. Let me ask you something on this.
The Lehman Brothers.
You have a lot of people who's watching this who would argue that this you crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. My question to you is this. What makes you believe that, though? Now, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm trying to speak from their perspective.
It's called discernment, man. Some people, listen,
and just
85% of the world is deaf, dumb, and blind. I think the Muslims told y'all that back in the day.
Facts.
But even though I'm a Christian base, even though I'm a motherfucking Christian base, I believe that 85% is deaf, dumb, and blind. 10% know the knowledge, and 5% actually follow what the fuck they know.
That's scary.
Y'all cannot, this is one thing.
That's
I feel
true,
like this podcast episode cannot, you cannot involve emotions when it come down to this. You cannot take shit personally. Because if you take this personally, you won't feel some type of way.
Let me interject, because we brought another topic in. I really want to speak on this. I'm gonna be last because you know what the fuck I'm gonna say.
And I might disagree.
As Americans, you brought this up earlier. As Americans, what do you think we can do to better ourselves and to better our the generation that is right now and generations to come?
Love is overall. That's
if
you just love, man. I swear
number
to God,
one
the
thing,
world gets such a better place.
Even though he stated love.
Love, man. That is
really
the greatest
feel like
power in the world.
Even with love, there has to be understanding.
Of course.
Before you can even love, I feel like you have to understand that other individual. You got to understand how certain people's minds are set. You got to understand how this world is going. Like, you see,
if you love off the rip, then it may bring you to understand if you just love. You don't have to understand, because I love
some people don't know how to love
other religions.
So with that being said, that's why if you can take yourself to understanding,
it'll make me susceptible to understand them, because I already love them as humanity, people that's here. We're all here. We are all equal.
But what do you think, sis? At the same time, you won't have a lot of people that can just love unconditionally. You have a lot of people that love. They don't know how exactly.
Right. Some people don't know how to love others.
So one thing that I feel like is a step to get to that point is understanding.
Yes, ma'am.
You know,
Some
understanding.
people don't even want to understand though.
So
But
when
You have Democrats. You have Democrats who don't
and
want
then
to.
what if you want to
Empathy
say
is-
some people don't want to have empathy for the motherfuckers?
Well,
like, if
empathy
you,
is like,
I just feel
even
like
if you
this.
don't
If you
agree,
cannot
just
accept
have
it
that
as for what it
understanding.
is, then it's a lost cause
Right,
at the end of
right.
the day. Like, so it's really you having to have that willpower to understand, to love unconditionally. Like, you
And-
have to be able to step outside of yourself and look at the world in a different
What
perspective.
you're saying is basically being optimistic. A lot of people
Pretty
don't know how to
much.
do that though.
Yes,
Pretty
they don't know how
much.
to do that. Basically, like whether you know, the empathy is the thing. Like whether you get down with what they talking about or not, it's just an understanding level, and then you being an understanding, even if you don't agree with what they're doing, just understand that they went through things to make them feel like that.
Right.
That's
They
true.
went through things you don't know what they went through
Trauma
in their
is-
life to make
pain
them
is
get that
necessary.
point
That's
of
true.
view.
Pain is
You know what I'm
necessary.
saying?
I mean, you
in
have to
life.
have
You have
pain
to
to
have
grow.
an empathy to understand that, okay, yeah, that's not what I get down with, but I have to understand it because that's what they went through and that's what gives them their point of view in life, even if I don't agree with it. And then maybe that will bring you to love that person.
I want to hear. Yeah. Well, what do you
You got
think
a
we
lot
need
to
to
say.
The most important thing, I believe, and I agree with what everybody said, but question everything. Yeah, there was a movie that came out in 1999 called The Matrix, and I feel like for some reason that movie kind of reflect reality in a sense.
Oh, it's
And the reason
absolutely
why
reality.
I reflected for me is that you have so many people walking around this planet believing everything they see, hear, smell, taste, right? But you got to realize that we only have 5 senses. You have some organisms on this planet who have 7 senses, 10 senses. We don't see all the colors of the spectrum
true.
of light, right? So how can we
why is
accept?
that?
How can we accept to even all the information we get from people who are not even perfect, which is our government, right? So I question everything. In other words, don't believe all the propaganda
That's
that you
right.
have in this world, especially when it comes to the form of negativism. Now, I think I kind of answered that question, but the more bigger question is, do you have, or statement, basically the bigger statement is, do you have the integrity, the mindset, the willpower, that's a better word, to control your emotion when the emotion is being impacted? I'm gonna give you an example. When I first saw George Floyd having a cop with his knee in his neck,
That shit killed me, boy.
I didn't want to react.
8 minutes and 46.
And the
please
reason
don't.
why I didn't want to react,
No, people need to know that fucking number.
I
bro.
know.
the reason why I didn't want to react
but
is
please don't,
I didn't want. I felt like for some reason I was giving power to something that I didn't want to have power. I knew what I felt. I felt an abundance of
I agree with
anger,
you. I agree with
but I couldn't react. Same thing with the Black Lives movement.
I didn't-
I couldn't
listen.
react 100%. I had to separate myself from the matrix, from the political algorithm I see all over the internet. And I didn't talk about it for about a week. I didn't do anything for a
Right.
week. I didn't go to march about it for a week.
And I'm glad you didn't, because that you speaking out immediately afterwards, that's exactly what the world expects.
Yeah,
Well,
it's in
the thing
anger,
is,
and it'll be in
with
anger.
the internet going on so much, I was questioning, was it real? What I'm seeing, is it
That's-
fucking real? That's a
the number
fucking
one.
cop with his knee on somebody's neck.
I'm talking about this nigga
Is
got
this
his
shit
hands in his
real?
hands
That
in
man-
his
And it
Is
pocket.
wasn't
it
even
fucking
It wasn't
real?
even a form of constraint. It was literally
I mean,
just,
do you
bitch,
know-
I'm trying to hurt
and
you.
then the
No,
other cop,
you
You
know,
wanted
honestly,
to.
I felt like that, and I didn't want to give that power to whatever entity
yeah.
or faction or
And
whatever.
that's what you're doing if when you play into it.
A lot of people play into it. It made me mad, of course, but I didn't want that. I didn't want
soldiers
that.
out there to do that shit for a
Oh
reason,
yeah!
All right.
I had to make sure that video was a doctored. I had to literally like sit back. Is this real?
And
I'll
after
fact check
you
it.
Okay,
got
so
mad,
like, I gotta get this
reevaluate.
out. I gotta get this out. I gotta get this out.
Oh
Okay.
shit! He's getting the fuck up.
So
What the fuck?
the main thing that I believe, shut up. The main thing that I think
Rude.
Americans need to do to be better and to better each other,
Nigga, if you don't 6 your ass down.
shut up, is to stop being such massive fucking pussies.
Nah, nigga,
the
you
world
supposed to
does
say dick
not
riders.
fucking revolve around you, you ignorant fucking peon.
All right.
Stop being so okay.
6
now
years
I
down.
gotta no. All right.
Damn.
It was actually
All
dick
in that way.
riders.
I had
I'ma
to
just say
fucking
that.
put that out there. I had to because
Dick Riders.
everybody in this
It was,
fucking
what?
country,
What is it?
everybody in this fucking country is feeding onto everybody else's fucking emotions when in all actuality they don't really have to. If a fucking 5-year-old is crying because he dropped his goddamn ice cream cone,
Does the world get mad?
Aw.
does the world get mad?
His world is
Yo.
all fucked up.
See, when you put
When I
it
was
like
5
that,
and I
a
dropped
lot
my
of
ice
people are
cream,
not, like, they're gonna get it
They
from
still
that
not gonna get it,
standpoint.
though.
But there's gonna be some people that's shit
No,
is gonna
majority
go
of-
over
No,
their
these
head.
motherfuckers
Majority
be
of people
lying.
won't
These
get it.
motherfuckers be whining, crying. Grown motherfucking men and women over here whining and crying about dumb shit, and then expecting the world to fucking follow suit
on, let
with
me
your
interject.
dumb ass
That's
fucking
another
internet.
thing.
Well,
Stop
let
it.
me
What you
interject.
gotta
Let me
understand
interject
is
real
that
quick.
Some people's lives aren't like our lives. They don't. What we face as reality is not a reality. They have no. Some people have no clue what's going on out here. I'm talking about they're so high up in the echelon
Some people
that
okay with
they
that, though.
really don't know what the
Some
fuck is
people
going
okay
on here.
with not
and guess
knowing.
what?
That's
They
true.
block their children. They block their whole lives from it, so they can live the Matrix, as you say.
In the Matrix.
So they can live as the Matrix. This shit is not really actually going on, motherfucker, because I'm out here in Melrose blowing goddamn cash or whatever fuck y'all got going on out there.
Until they
rioting and
realize
shit.
it is
that
going
shit
on.
don't apply to me.
And I'm not saying
You know what I'm
necessarily.
saying?
I'm
That's
not
how
saying.
people
I'm
That's
not
how
saying
people are.
necessarily don't
A lot of
have
people
any
are.
fucking emotion. If something is going on that affects you, you should have the right to be able to express that.
That is true.
But if you're beating a dead horse and you know you're beating a dead horse, put the fucking stick away. Go home. Fucking read a book. Go masturbate. Shut the fuck up.
Pause.
Shut the fuck up. The majority of this shit. Bro, this is why I said this in the last fucking podcast, bro. Motherfuckers have to learn to boss up. You gotta learn to boss
But not
up. 'Cause
everybody-
motherfuckers don't give a
you
fuck
you
about
have a lot
you.
of Indians on Earth who try to be a chief, and they're not. You can't say, but I'm not gonna tell somebody who's weak-minded to boss up. No.
Blacks were the first real Native Americans over here for the motherfucking record, because there wasn't a place on this goddamn earth that we
Black
had set foot on
Indians.
before goddamn Christopher
sense.
Columbus
Indians
came
are
here.
black.
For the record.
Oh yeah,
Indians are
fuck
black.
Christopher Columbus. Why do we give that motherfucker so much goddamn credit? He was a fucking
don't
idiot.
deserve
He was
that
a
shit.
fucking ignorant ass fucking killing conniving ass motherfucker who couldn't do math.
Welcome
Who
to
thought the
Spaniard.
fucking planet was in the shape of a pear.
Welcome to America.
Didn't he say the earth was flat? Who said the earth was flat?
For the rest.
Who said the earth was flat? I just want to know.
back then.
Because
Many said it back then, and then people
I don't
thought
know
that it
who
was
said
round, and
that.
then
Which we
you
all
got
know
a
the
lot of people
Egyptians
with the
knew
flat earth theory
the
now.
earth
but
wasn't
honey,
flat.
I pray for you.
Ancient
That's all I
Egyptians
can
knew
say.
that the earth wasn't flat.
They knew it wasn't flat.
Oh yeah, a lot of
What?
yeah.
Of course they gonna know it ain't flat.
That
They fly around them
literally gotta
goddamn
be the most
UFOs. You know the motherfucker ain't flat.
Simple-minded.
Conspiracy level of it.
hypothesis.
And that's the nice way. That's the nice way to say
honestly
it.
say like the earth is flat because you walk on a flat ground.
Motherfucker.
If
like
that was the case,
literally,
I'd be
if
able
you
to see the
constantly
goddamn
keep
Africa.
walking.
It's
Motherfucker,
not. I can't
yes,
see
you'll
that
be
far.
able to-
I can't see that far because it's slowly rounding off.
Motherfucker, you be able to fucking see the goddamn
I see China
pyramids from over the
Over
goddamn
here,
ocean.
if it was flat, you would really be able to see. It might only be this small when you look at it, but motherfucker, you'd be able to see it if the earth was goddamn flat.
We done
That's how you
already
know
jumped to that.
motherfuckers are just closed minded. I'm sorry, but if you believe that the fucking
I
planet
should be
is
able to
flat,
see
you're
goddamn.
closed
I should be
minded.
able to see the Empire
Nah, but
State Building
some
from
of them
here.
do have some good arguments though.
I should be able to
I
see
mean,
the
it
Empire
does.
State Building from
But
Based
here.
off of what
cannot-
information?
You can't deny that.
They got some good arguments. Some of them
Deny
flat
what?
Earth. I've talked to a person who really, really believed the Earth is flat.
Oh, my cousin believes it
Let
to
me
the
tell you.
goddamn. You can't
Let
tell
me
that
tell you
motherfucker
something.
nothing.
Let me tell you something.
You like it, I love it. I don't give a shit.
My
I mean,
cousin
shit.
believes
Do
that.
you,
No, no,
bro?
I'm
My
not gonna
cousin
lie.
believes that shit. Hey, but I ain't gonna lie though.
With his
I
statements, it
understand
was
it,
like,
'cause
wait
the
a
Bible
minute.
say, "Oh, the angel stood on the four corners of the earth." I mean, like, earth ain't got no corners, but I mean, you know what I'm
dead
saying?
as
Like that's
You do
why
have. You do have. You 4 quadrants.
you got 4 quadrants. You got 4
You got
quadrants.
4 quadrants.
And that's probably what the translation meant back then. They just put corners because they didn't have many like words or whatever. You translating from Hebrew to goddamn English.
A lot of words, also a lot of words in the Bible
Don't
when it
make it
comes
to
down to
English.
Hebrew,
Yeah.
the language.
There's some words in
it
Hebrew that's not
cannot be
English.
English is a
translated.
made up shit, man. They
Right.
derived
It
from
cannot
Latin.
be translated. Like you
Broken
can't.
Latin.
Broken
yeah,
Latin.
That's
Yeah.
facts. That's facts. But
Um,
yeah,
Yeah, but
if
I
you
love
feel
y'all.
like we said something that you don't like, leave
I
a
knew
comment.
this shit was about to be a hit, bro.
I'm so
Leave a
glad I came
comment.
to this motherfucker,
I knew
bro.
this shit was
And
about to
subscribe.
Look, bro, she showed me on y'all last video, man. I say, boy, what they talking about?
Yeah.
Shit,
The mental,
boy,
the
try to
thing
slide
about
them
it with
in.
me, what brought me into it more was
I got some
talking
shit to
about
say.
mental instability. Like there's
Okay, so
there's
let me
a
ask you
lot
this.
of people that go through that.
What do you see? And I know on previous shows I talked about it, but it's good to get a female perspective.
Right.
What do you see when it comes to mental instability amongst females,
Right.
especially in the company of men who do not know how to treat females?
Okay. First off, us being females, we go through shit that y'all don't go through.
Okay,
We
speak.
have a monthly cycle, okay, they come and haunt us every month.
That's
I'm
one.
gonna just state that that's number one because
Grandma Eve.
a
Facts.
lot of females don't even know that they PMS before their cycle. You get what I'm saying? Like you go through that, like you go through mood swings or you go through, just having certain feelings that they're
Now,
heightened.
you have some females in the world who argue that PMS only applies in America. Do you believe that?
That's a
No.
fucking lie.
Because like I just said, there's a
No,
lot of
in
females, a lot of
places
people
it
that
does-
don't
it doesn't.
know.
It's not a thing.
It's
in
certain
a lot of
information
places.
that's not available to you at
Right.
that time. So it's like,
then you gotta look.
I mean, if you're not knowing that, you can't be upset about it, or you can't sit here and say that
Do
you
you
just not.
do you think a lot
happening
of
to
men
you.
are, in a sense, not considerate of what females? Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna give you an example. I don't
I
know.
give everybody look.
I ain't gonna lie. Like me, low
If
key
I went through that
sometimes.
shit every month, I'd be killing the hell out of people.
Listen, I
Hey,
mean,
listen,
this is why men are not.
Don't
I
go through that
guess
shit.
that's exactly
Hell
right.
yeah,
I can
I'm
killing
honestly
it.
say,
Facts.
in a way, it's a blessing.
You
Honestly. It's
come,
a
I
blessing
sell
to
you
be
a bag of
female
weed, man. You
because
come.
me being a female, I bring y'all
Microphone
into this
check.
world.
Microphone
you know
check.
What I'm saying? We
What do you
bring-
mean? What do you mean, sis? You
Okay.
gotta speak in that mic. So
Being
what
a
do you mean?
female is
$2
the
on
most
the pig.
man.
Blood.
I feel like it's
Get
the
it-
most
let her
euphoric
get this
feeling,
out. Let her
or
get this
it's a blessing to experience
it is,
life
though.
as a female. Honestly,
I see it. It is.
because we are gonna go through things that men are not able to understand.
I don't want
You
to
know,
understand some
and
of
a
that.
lot of men, they do take time. It's some men out here that do take time to understand, or they cater to their woman or cater to females in general
Right.
that are going through that process or that has that time coming or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of women look at it like, oh my God, like, I wish I wasn't a female. Because I done had times I'm like, damn, I wish I was just
No
a nigga.
cramps.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't cramps sneak up on
when
you.
they going through that shit, they don't want to be no goddamn female.
Look, the cramps sneak up on you, them headaches, the mood swings that you're going through. Like, you have to be in tune. It's really about being in tune with your body.
Thank you, God, for not putting me through that.
knowing
When I saw my wife, let me interject.
when
I
that
saw-
time is coming.
Let me interject, sis.
You good?
When my wife
Y'all women,
gave
y'all are
birth to
awesome.
my son, I realized
Boy.
I had to thank God I am not a
Hey,
woman.
listen here, when I seen that
When I
pussy
seen
split,
that
this
thing,
wide son open up like
Bro,
that.
what?
Nigga.
It took me, bro. I
Hey,
saw a lot of shit.
I was young,
Bro,
boy.
I
That
saw-
shit fucked me
I saw
up,
people.
son.
I saw somebody get murdered in front of me.
That shit
Yeah,
fucked me
I
up.
saw motherfuckers get person got in a fight and they got the golf club and they hit the person in the eye and the eyeball hanging out. I saw a person had road rash from a
Lord
bike
bless their
accident
soul.
and had road rash on in a ball sack. All this shit, I saw crazy shit. Shit I can't even speak of. For some reason, that still is the crazy
Boy, I
shit.
swear to God,
Yeah.
boy.
Me seeing
I
that-
just wonder how that.
And really from a man's perspective, and okay, from my
That seems
perspective,
like a lot.
from my perspective, because
I was passing the fuck
seen
out.
I've actually seen that miracle of birth.
Me too.
Right.
I helped
And it's
deliver
just
my
that-
son, boy.
It's
I
just
would
that
never.
moment where you're just looking and it's just like,
This
Well,
is
you
how
could-
life
God
started.
damn, you had that much fucking
Hey,
power?
I swear to God, I don't even think
You
was
pushed
breathing.
another
gotta be
being out of you?
thankful.
Bro, you weren't even breathing when that shit
Nobody
was happening, bro.
would
I'm
be
telling you,
on
you wasn't
this
breathing, bro.
earth
It was like
if it wasn't for a
you
woman. At
stuck.
the end of the
I'm
day,
telling you, I
like
was.
nobody.
I was
Fact.
stuck when I seen that shit happening, boy.
Well, let me
Y'all
ask you
got
a
to be
question, sis.
thankful,
Let me ask you a
man.
question.
I am.
I feel
I
like
damn sure am. I couldn't take no shit like that, man.
I feel like there should be more women world leaders, and a lot of men would disagree.
Guess what, though?
A lot of
No.
men would disagree.
No, that's absolutely a fact.
Let me
But
tell
let
you,
me ask you,
though.
I think there should be more women leaders
Except
in
Hillary.
the world.
You-
So,
And the reason why I say that is females, from my perspective, are caring and nurture. And we need that more so
too
in this
much
world.
masculine energy.
A masculine energy destroys the world.
It destroys
So
the
I'm going
world.
to
It's
ask, what do
proven
you
fact,
think?
man.
What do you think about this whole Kamala Harrison situation, she being a woman, being a VP, you know, does that resonate with you? Do you see or feel?
I look deeper than that. I'm gonna just tell you that point blank period,
like
because
the one
that's just like
She's running for
saying
US.
that's just like saying Hillary Clinton. You get what I'm
How
saying?
do you feel like what
How
I'm
I
saying
feel-
is Anor the
Yes,
the
I got it.
ideology
I got it. Already.
of what you know, but just as far as just on like
Now this is just dudes being dudes for a second.
no, that's cold
I
talk.
already know.
That's cold
As
talk,
As far as
sir.
about politics
That's
and
cold
shit
talk.
like that, yeah, I remember. I got
That's
it.
cold
boy.
talk.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't see. I try so, like, when it come down to looking at things, or dealing with the political parties or anything in that type of nature, it's hard for me to look at them as individuals.
Well, that's what he was trying to
And
say. boy.
I understand
Kind
that
of.
like you was trying to just look at it like from a woman's perspective, but it's hard when you put yourself in that type of light, because you're saying that you are for certain things. You with certain things, you're not with certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be pro life or you could be anti. About it. Like, so it's like whatever you're going for, I just take, like, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I see where you're going with that as well. But it's like, at the same time, I know that there's an agenda behind it.
It's always
You can't deny the fact that there's an agenda
always I'm happy you
behind
said
any political
I'm happy you said
individual.
that.
Like, because they might present to themselves, like present to us as,
the good,
hey, like, this is who
superwoman,
we are,
everything's positive.
like,
Sometimes a lot
I
of
done
them
came
are
from
good.
here, I done came from there,
they don't
I
even
done
know what
seen
they
I was
this
tell you
happen.
something. That's
But
why I couldn't be a cop. So I'm
it's
sorry
like,
to interrupt.
no, you good,
I
but
couldn't
it's
be a cop.
But
then
why,
that
bro?
honestly,
I'm gonna tell you why. Go ahead, continue.
oh, I was about to say, because I could tell you about the reason why I wouldn't want to be either. Shit.
I would
Like,
and listen, if
let's
we
be
didn't have the
real.
good ones out there, we'd be really fucked up.
But look,
I couldn't be
where
a
did-
cop
where did-
because
If we
I
didn't
know
have the
my.
good ones out
When
there,
y'all
we'd be
think
really
about
fucked up,
it,
boy.
when they wanted to police us, where did that start? That started from slave catching, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
first police?
So with that being
Texas
said,
Ranger?
that
Overseas.
thought
Fact
right
check
there,
me right
that's
now.
Fact right
Fact
there
check
is
me
the
right now.
reason why
Texas
I would
Rangers
not.
originally.
I couldn't do it, because even
Was
though the
doing that.
world changes every
Catch
day,
yourself.
Every
you
last one of
cannot
them.
change that fact.
Yeah.
That the only reason that we have police out here is because at a time they were doing slave catchers,
Oh,
like
so it was
slave
freelance
catchers.
bounty hunters.
You had a fucking bounty over your head.
Yeah, freelance
You get
bounty
what I'm
hunters.
saying? Like, you had a whole bounty over your head, and who had to go
Texas
catch you?
Marshals.
I always feel like I'm happy I come from or came from. I have to say past tense. It's so weird because my mother's no longer alive, but
God bless
I
her,
come
baby.
from
real.
a strong, really strong, dominant black woman.
Right.
And the thing I always realize is that I feel like they always have to go through harder trials and tribulations than even black men, because it's like a double negative.
Bro,
You're not only
the most
black, but you're a
endangered
woman.
The most endangered fucking species as far as humans is a black woman.
Because that is all we have. And all right, the most powerful thing on this motherfucking earth is the black man, and without the black woman, we don't have shit.
Look,
So
and
they
another thing,
trying to
if
take
y'all
the black
really-
woman from us to
Exactly.
take our power. Because
Exactly.
the black woman is our power.
I think it's a
in
bit.
day-
If you
There's
look
a
at
bigger
it, if you
agenda than that, but
take out-
continue.
if you
at
take
end
out
of
the
day,
black
when
women,
our black men wouldn't fight back. It was the women that did that shit to get us out of slavery. Harriet Tubman, all of them. When we went now, don't get it twisted. A lot of the times they didn't speak about the black men that was really ride or die back then in the times, because we was always around.
Right,
But
right.
at the end of the day, so they say it was some black women though, because it really was goddamn Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman.
I was
Motherfuckers-
about to say Sojourner
the
Truth,
motherfuckers
yeah.
like that, like bro, because they torture us harder than they did our women as far as physically. What they did to our women was break us down mentally, because
Wow,
our
rape.
women
That's where the
our
feminist
women
movement
depended
started.
on us.
Let's
And
just
once
be
the
real.
women saw us get broke down to that fucking level, it fucked the woman's head up worse
All
than
the way the
our-
because at the end
worse
of the
than
day,
what
we
were
had our
fucked up.
men. Like,
You know what I'm
You know
saying?
what? But I've really
Because
think
they
of,
depended on us, and now they looking at us like, oh my god, my protection
Oh, he can't
is
defend
done.
us now.
imagine-
My protection is done, so their head is like done. So,
but at the same time,
praise
you had
the
a lot
black
of
motherfucking.
you had a
woman,
lot of
man.
women back then. Even
Facts.
they've lost their lives, and I'm pretty sure this ain't even on record. And it's just me speaking from spirit at this time. Like, you've had a lot of women that have put themselves on the line or put their lives on the line to save that black man.
Oh my God, that's countless.
You know that's happened exactly.
You can even
So
say
it's like-
you can even say some ghetto shit with the whole Megan Thee Stallion situation.
So it's
No, don't even go there. Don't even go there.
Think about it. When these motherfucking police be beating our goddamn ass, nigga, you got them motherfucking women that ain't fucking going for it.
So as black
They're not
people as a
going for it.
whole,
I mean,
they're
shit.
not
Jump
going
on
to
them goddamn
accept
police,
us
whether it's
because
told or
of
not.
the energy
That
that we
shit happens.
have behind
I'm on-
ourselves.
I'm willing to bet you
The
there's
ancestors
multiple.
that we got walking behind us and that's
these black
walking with
women are
us,
our biggest
they
goddamn-
can't handle
the biggest-
that. At the end of the
No,
day, that's a
Thank
different
God God
type of
gave us,
powerful.
man.
It's a force that cannot be reckoned with.
Right.
And no matter how many of us that you take out, and I will speak this to the day I die, we are going to multiply. The more of us you kill, the more we come back. Like you got, like they're not
I
getting
see
that,
more.
y'all.
I'm
They're
gonna make a
not getting
statement.
that.
I'm out there. Hold on. Let me cupcake your
good.
statement real quick. The other day, I don't want to give negative outlet to what I'm about to say, but I was driving, I guess, through the hood, and a lot of the hoods that I drive through, I won't say the names. I see signs that's stating that ways how to go about with abortion, and and when I go through rich neighborhoods,
You
I don't see that, and I
why,
realize
Hold on.
there is an
Pause.
do we think there's is there an agenda behind that?
I gotta get this out.
Okay,
Get this
go
out.
ahead, get out.
Point
Get it out.
blank
Get it
out. Hold on
period.
to
Point
it.
blank period. When it comes to abortion, men shut the fuck up.
I agree a billion percent. It should not be on the concept
This
of a
does
man.
not happen to
That is some
you.
crazy
This is
ass
not
Let me ask you
revolving
this
around
though.
you.
Let me ask men this though. Hold on. Let me reiterate with this. I don't think it should be a man place to tell a woman to get abortion, because it's not a woman place to tell us to stop ejaculating when we masturbate. Right?
Like a motherfucker.
Think about that.
top of that,
Think about that.
It's not a
abortion,
man's place to tell a woman that she shouldn't have one either.
No, not
When a
at
man
all, but
look, it's like this. Okay, so
I
when we
think it
come
should be a
onto
straight
this
woman
earth,
place.
when
You're right.
you have a child, I really feel
Right.
and I believe as if there should be a commitment with each other before you even have a child. There should be a commitment with you and that other individual. And that commitment
And
can
that's
be in the
90% of the
court
problem.
or it can be under God, whichever way you want to see it. Either way. But at the same time, it's like you'll have situations where there's people out here and
Now, you have some men will argue though with that. Some men will argue with that. There's some men who will
And what
say,
will be the
half
argument?
half of that child is my DNA. I have a right to say that this, or I have a right
But
to
did
say
it come
that.
out of you
No,
though?
But did it
motherfucker,
come out of
what?
you?
Did it come out of
chose
you
to
though?
put your
Did
DNA
you carry
in
that
woman.
motherfucker for 9 months?
Once
I
you
have
put that
another-
DNA in that woman, that your right, you
Y'all.
done, nigga.
Listen,
I
I got
agree with
something
that.
that's going
Woman's
I always think a woman should
got
have.
It's
something
that
to
woman's
say.
choice, man.
No,
It's
no,
that
no,
At the
woman's
end of
choice.
the day,
Go ahead,
at the
speak
end
your
of the
piece.
day, even though that child did come out of that woman, y'all both sat there and made that individual,
Exactly.
right? But guess what?
Can't
Who
tell that woman
made
to
that
get no
happen?
goddamn abortion.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the
At the end of
worst
the day,
thing for you.
God
You
is in
That
control,
happen, so
right?
neither one of y'all have the right to goddamn abort the motherfucker.
See, just as we sitting here and we
Lord,
looking
man.
at our physical bodies, there's a spirit in that baby. There's a spirit that's living, right?
Right.
That spirit came from somewhere. So it's like,
This is Great Apes Cafe.
so I mean, at the end of the day, you can't look at it. I'm not gonna say simple in a simple-minded way. You can't look at it as just, part of that baby's mine and part of that baby's
Hold
yours.
that thought, sis. So my friend doesn't understand the etiquette of a podcast. It's okay. He went to go throw away trash.
Oh, hush.
My nigga could have left the motherfucking trash on the damn table. But he been drinking, so he extra. Nah, let me stop. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
No, but how I look at it is you gotta be in tune with certain things. Like, you gotta know, just as if you came into this world, that's just like you didn't ask to be here, bro. None of us asked to fucking be here at the end of the day.
Let me interject a different situation or statement.
Go ahead.
So during the lockdown, the COVID-19 lockdown, there was a surge or increase of domestic violence of men and women beating up each other. But I want to ask, do you think that, how do you feel about the concept of domestic violence. Like, how should a man? And because it doesn't always start with the physical. It always starts with the mental, right? What should women do? What should women do to get out a situation of domestic violence? Because I don't agree with it. I fucking disagree.
Chop that nigga shit off.
No. Before you even get to that,
In a negative
God
way.
literally, or you can say the universe or whoever you believe in, you get signs before things get really serious.
Oh, but-
You get signs of this person being too possessive.
And then when they
or
beat
this
your
person
ass up,
be
they
too
say, "Oh, I'm gonna do it again no more."
No.
Please forgive me.
But
What do you do in that situation?
I want to talk
Because
about
that's
before.
mental. That's a person trying to have mental
Yeah, but I
control.
want to talk about before
Over
it
you.
even gets there, and then go into it. Like
Okay.
before it even gets to that point, it's like you cannot ignore those red flags that pop up. Like you cannot sit here and say that, oh well, he's just going through some things, or he done
Right.
been through certain things to where, y'all just don't understand who he is. Y'all don't understand how he is. You cannot take up for the individual when they fuck up, because they ain't trying to take up for them damn selves. You get what I'm saying? So with us
Right.
being women, they take advantage of us being nurturers at the end of the day, and us being females. Like we feel emotionally
If you are
more
a
than a
female-
man. That's
Sorry to
sometimes
inter-
not.
Let me interject. If you are a woman who's going through domestic violence, please call 1-800-DOMESTIC-VIOLENCE, and they will help you get
Please.
the sources, the information you need to get out the situation that you are in.
And I'ma
for the
tell you
record,
this,
I think
and
the
if
world
you-
confuse the fact that men are supposed to be nurturers as well, and I think with with this westernized society, like it ain't just the woman that's being no nurturer, like over here maybe, but in our black world where we come from, you think that the man wasn't as nurturing as the woman? Yeah, the woman had it, but the woman had the child, but when that man come home from doing his daily dues, he's supposed to jump right in. He's supposed to jump right in and take over for her because she been there all day. Like that.
Let me
like
tell you
that-
something. Females, I give mad respect, power to females. A lot of females I know, and you know who you are. Some of y'all are friends of mine on Facebook. Some of y'all I see all the time. You are being both the mother and the father.
Man,
I have to
that
say,
is the hardest job.
I have to
bro.
I have to disagree with men who negatively put their hands on a woman.
And
You know who you are.
And
Absolutely.
there's
And
always
look,
You have a low self-esteem, a low ego, maybe a low ego. You need to go
Yeah.
get psychological help. They got plenty of things out there in the world to help you with
Any
But then-
look,
getting a better
this
ego
is
than
something
to
that
physically put your hands on a female.
this is something that
In a
I could-
negative way.
And I ain't gonna sit here and take up for no man putting no hands on a woman.
right.
There's
However,
always an exception to the rule.
just as if a female could put their hands on you. You got to be going through some shit internally. Like for you not to be
But-
able to speak.
I got to disagree
like-
with you a little
But
bit on that.
most-
Sis.
A lot of
men
people
are
get
stronger
physical.
than females.
It
though.
Right,
is.
right.
That
Why
is
would
And that's
true.
what we
why
are a
would
greater
I
being.
put my hands on
as
a
far
woman
as like masculinity.
like if I know I'm gonna win? Not granted.
Exactly.
So some of the females that I do know, I know like Keisha. You know taijutsu. You'll beat the fuck out of me. So that's
Yeah,
different.
damn right. But that's
like-
exception, bro. That's
Exception
an
to the
exception.
rule.
But at the end of the day, you know that motherfucker, it ain't nothing to beat no female, man.
I'm more
And you should,
worried.
Y'all would be
in-
fucked
in-
up because
in
there's
the-
a lot of bitches out here that, excuse me, I ain't gonna say bitches.
A lot of women.
A lot of queens out here that
She
will
said
whoop
it
y'all
right. There's
ass.
some
But
bitches.
Point
there's-
blank, period.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a lot of queens
When it
out here
comes-
that's not
when it
about to
comes
take
to-
the bullshit that these little ass boys
But I
want to put out, because that's all it is. It's a certain type of elevation that you have within your mind. You have to be strong enough
A lot
not
of it is
to
trauma,
put
though.
your hands on
Some-
another individual, whether it's a female or a man.
Some men
you
put-
got to be able to use your words and talk to a person. If you can't have that conversation, then walk the fuck
shouldn't
away.
be
Some
You
people
got to be
can't
able
do
to
that,
have the
though.
I
battle.
agree.
Some
Yeah,
people
some
can't
people
do,
can't do
bro.
that.
So with
bro,
those people
point
that
blank
cannot
period.
do that,
Point
I'm
blank
gonna tell y'all, y'all
period.
need to go ahead and have a conversation
Mike,
with
you got a mic,
yourself.
Mike.
Have a conversation with yourself and think about that shit. Like, really think. Do you honestly think that it's okay to do or do the things that you do or treat a person a certain type of way just because of how you feel
Now
that
I would
person
say
did?
I would say
Like,
this.
that's
Let me
not okay.
interject. A lot of men start off with putting their hands on a woman based on a trauma that they
seen as a
it
child.
happen. You parents must be aware. Be very, very diligent on how you treat, especially us men. Men, I want you to pay attention on how you talk to your wife in front of your child.
Your children are
Because
sponges. They
so
soak
much.
up
Like,
everything
hey, bro.
you do in front of
They
them.
soak, I mean, and even
Man,
at a
I'ma
young
tell you,
age,
man, I'm
Every
saying-
fucking
now.
thing.
Start it now. And even if you're mad at your wife or girlfriend or fiance and you see a child around, give them a kiss, give them some flowers, give them some chocolate.
Oh my God.
Show them a form of appreciation. Because let me tell you something. They pick up on those
All of it,
tactics
yep.
on how you treat a
A
woman.
woman, yeah, absolutely.
Make sure if anybody out here have kids, I don't have none, but I wish I did. But make sure that y'all loving y'all
Nope.
kids. Make sure y'all loving on y'all kids enough.
I do want some
So
more, though. I ain't gonna
whether
bullshit.
if you have a son, so your son don't go out here looking
shit
for
definitely.
the love that they wish they had from their mother, from another female that ain't
Right.
gonna give it to them. And
Absolutely.
for their
Okay.
daughters, the daughters that's out there, make
Looking
sure
for
that your
men.
daughters, to the dads, I'm talking to y'all because look, I done went through my experiences and shit. Make sure that y'all loving that y'all daughters enough and y'all treating y'all daughters like queens to where they not going out into this real world looking for, or not even gonna say looking for, but expecting, or
Well, sometimes
seeking
they'll target
the-
a motherfucker. If you a bad fucking dad and your mama stayed with your black ass, they'll end up with a motherfucker like you, and you be ready to kill that motherfucker.
But no, cause
know what I'm
man,
saying?
look,
That's true,
I'ma
too.
just be
And, like,
real.
that's
Some
those are
females
situations.
I'ma just
say
be
it's okay
real.
to get abused.
I
because they
wish
see
that
they
I was a
mom
daddy's
abused.
girl. My
You
daddy
know what I mean?
wasn't.
Psychologically.
Look,
Cause
my
she see me, I got a daddy's girl.
My
You know what
daddy,
I'm saying?
look, and I love it because it's the fact that I didn't have my daddy is alive, y'all. That nigga ain't in my life.
Right.
That's
And
his choice,
your-
though.
your state- what you
with
just
it
said,
being,
a
like,
lot of people go through that.
With that being said,
A lot of
it's
people go
like,
through that.
so when I see certain fathers that have daughters and they're in their lives and they treating their daughters like princesses or queens or whatever they want to treat, like treating
gonna lie,
them,
that's-
Yeah.
putting
Bro, I ain't
them
gonna lie,
on a
that's hard more
pedestal
now
and
than
letting
ever,
them
though.
know
Daughters?
not
Boy,
to
I
be
killed one of these
taken.
little
How old
niggas,
is
boy.
she?
You know, not
13, boy, and
That's
she
a
is
terrible
like,
age.
listen.
But see, but
no,
she-
but she's
you
like,
wouldn't- you
she's
wouldn't
like
even-
developed like hell. I
Facts.
kill one of
Word,
these little
Facts.
niggas.
word.
Just
So-
so, for the record, y'all know Jada
PSA
Wade.
statement. Go ahead. Say,
All you
tell it.
little niggas, if y'all ever see this goddamn podcast, you better know this her daddy.
Y'all gonna have some trouble on your
I
hands.
want to interject a little bit on domestic. I want to interject a little bit on domestic violence, just since we're speaking on it, and I want to talk about something that what I feel that people don't really think about or speak on. It's just the people who go through that shit. Sometimes they feel like it's necessary just based off of what they've gone through as a child or as a young adolescent, and it's just it
Some
feeds
people-
into.
some
There's
people-
some people.
Some people think that's just what it is.
Some people
But
just
you-
go. They stay
think
in
that's what
toxic
it is.
relationships because
They
they
think
think
that's
that's
what
what
it
a
is.
It's a
relationship
time
is.
in your life.
My
with
mama
you
dealt
being
with it, and
a
I don't know how I feel about that
I've
statement.
literally
individual.
I've literally watched
seen
my
it.
mother.
I've seen
I've
it.
literally
I've
watched
seen
my
it.
mother fight grown fucking men.
Guess what though? You know it's
My
crazy.
mother used to do. I ain't gonna lie.
At the time
R.I.P.
that
to my
you
my
was-
mom was a gangster.
Oh, they was scared.
You
My
know
mom
how
was too
you-
goddamn
you-
RP.
look,
My
hold on,
mama
hold
is a hell.
How old are you?
I am 27.
27. And you said you witnessed your mama going through, fighting.
There was
grown-ass
one fucking
men.
moment, and shit. If I'm lying, I'm flying. There was one moment where my grandmother, my mom's mom, she had died 2 months before we moved into this new house, and she gave us the only thing that she had was a fucking TV. My mom's boyfriend broke that shit, and that was the last thing that I had of my mother's mom. I took 5 years old. I swear to you, I had all the rage in the fucking world, and if it wasn't for my mom taking that fucking knife away from me, ooh, I would have been the youngest 5-year-old committing fucking murder. Bro, once I saw it, because he
Whoa.
literally just saw the fucking TV and was just like,
Right.
fuck this shit. Bam!
It's
I literally went, my mom was making fucking pancakes in the fucking kitchen. I went into the kitchen, grabbed the biggest knife that I could, and I was ready to kill this motherfucker. Because I didn't have that much of a relationship. Bro, you gotta, okay. I didn't even know that my mom's mom existed until I was 6. She died when I was 7. That's the only bit of that's all the fuck I had as a child to remember
From
her
grandma,
by.
yeah.
Besides
Right.
a fucking picture that
There's
somebody
always-
else drew.
there
Right.
is always
My big
exceptions to the
grandma not
rule.
here no more,
That's-
but
I
this
feel
is her
you on that.
TV.
Exactly.
Right,
This is her.
Like,
This is
that
her
TV,
shit.
right,
Like,
right.
I don't care if this shit is fucking outdated or
well,
fucking
it's her
50 years.
shit.
This is her shit.
It's
You
her
don't fuck
shit.
with her shit.
Everything, like with us being in a different generation, in a different era than our parents, like we have a different type of understanding. We have a different type of outlet. Like our rage is gonna be 10 times bigger and stronger than that because it's
Because
things
trauma
that
scientifically
you
is
cannot
proven to get
suppress
passed
within
down
us
from generation to
that
generation.
was suppressed back then. There's certain things we not about to just sweep up under the rug that they did back then. You get what I'm saying? So it's a blessing to be in this time because the things that was allowed back then, we are not taking that shit. That's why we're getting killed every motherfucking day. Like I don't blame you for feeling that shit, but I probably would have.
You have a right to feel. You have a right to feel any type of way.
Too.
My
Bro,
situation.
like,
my mom was the antagonist. Like my mom started shit with my dad. Dad, if you see this, I'm not gonna go in detail. Calm down. But my mom was the person to create a situation where my father had no choice but to be physical because my mom would go beyond the spectrum of what a woman can do. You like this? My mom could fight. Like,
your
she could
mama
throw-
was
What?
a gangster. Your mama wasn't the one to be tried. But at the same time,
Man.
can I ask you a question? Like, and this is, I ain't trying to get too personal,
You
but
good.
it's like with your mom, what did she experience as a child? Like, what was her childhood like?
My mom had a dope childhood. My grandfather was a truck driver, so am I. Shout out to my grandfather.
It's
RIP.
in the blood.
It's in the blood. I'm actually third generation.
Thanks.
Yeah. And my grandmother was a teacher. They had they trials and tribulations, but not once did my grandfather actually put his hands on my grandmother. At least not in a negative way. I do know he gets rowdy and different when he's drinking, and she probably saw some stuff when it comes to how my grandfather probably talk or behave when he's drinking alcohol. You know what I mean? But he never actually negatively put his hands that I know of on my grandmother. But I would say that my mom suffered from a form of drug abuse, which was the causality of the rage. You know, drugs can actually create bipolarism. You know what I mean? And having long-time drug effect can be a wear and tear on any relationship with that. So that's probably why. I don't know if I answered that question.
I mean, no, because the only reason I asked that is because a lot of times when you see people react in certain type of ways, or when you see, you can go back to somebody's past or even go to they recent events in their lives and see certain things of where they, where it got them to that point, basically. What got them to that point. So it's like what got your mom.
For my mom's situation was drugs. Like, drugs was the matriarch at one point of not just my mom, my dad, my uncle. I won't name any names because I don't want them to say, "Oh, you talking about my daddy?" I want my cousins and nothing like that. But I would say drugs was the fundamental, well, not fundamental, but the basics, of building on how to. They don't when you bring drugs in the equation. I'm not talking about marijuana, or shrooms or anything natural. I'm talking about your Coca-Cola, no soda, shit. That's hard. You know what I mean? That changed any relationship.
Right.
When a parent is on drugs, it affects the whole family network, whole family web to a certain extent.
And by the way, if this shit's and I'm speaking, we've already spoke on the fucking parents. I'm speaking to the kids right now. All right. Now we're in a fucking day and time where this shit is completely fucking obvious. You know what the fuck you're looking at. So if you see this shit at home, tell somebody. If you see your mother or your father beating up the other fucking parent, go and tell somebody, okay?
Tell somebody.
Tell somebody. I don't care if it's the police. I don't care if it's a fucking family member. I don't care if it's a fucking priest.
That situation is weird.
I know.
I remember. No, I'm gonna tell you why though. Like for me, I remember when I wanted to tell somebody, but I had a fear. No, I knew how, but I had a fear. I probably tell my grandmother or my granddaddy. Yeah, I saw my mom get a knife and try to cut my dad. Like, But what I'm getting at is, at a young age, and maybe I was just a little bit before my time, I would never wanted to talk to anybody associated with government with political police or any figure that way or school. Like I just remember I couldn't like I'm from I'm from a weird neighborhood where we don't snitch. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I remember times where
Dry snitching is still snitching.
dry snitching is still snitching. And I just couldn't say like I didn't want to say anything.
I want to taste.
You know what I mean? So you just gotta. But I do agree with you. They should sell somebody.
I mean, like at point blank, it's not just with domestic violence. Like if you see, and this is going back to fucking George Floyd. Stop fucking recording and help. God damn it. I don't give a fuck what anybody fucking says. Like, oh yeah, if we would have jumped on that fucking cop, we would have gotten prosecuted. Well, George would still be alive.
Amen.
If somebody would have came up to that fucking cop, bashed him in his fucking head.
Nobody wouldn't be dead right now.
Nobody wanted to fucking take that fucking chance. And now you have a fucking dead body.
Let me tell you something though. That situation is weird.
It is, but at the same time, bro, if I see somebody getting beat up on the fucking street,
I've seen it all the time.
It's
Man, I seen this white girl getting goddamn what's the name about this goddamn fat ass cop the other day, man. On the video.
Oh no.
And that shit was fucked up. All because she wasn't wearing a mask, bro.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
I heard about it. I didn't see it. I heard about
Boy,
that.
that shit had me so goddamn hot.
But see, at the same time with that situation,
that's not a fucking mandate. That's
but
not a mandate.
the only reason I'm not gonna say
Can't arrest
anything
nobody for not wearing no
is
mask.
because of the situation and how it happened.
I get it, but it's not a mandate.
Because it is not. And when you go down to the laws, like knowing the laws, you are right.
If you allow
but guess what? What cop out here is actually doing what the fuck they supposed to do?
None of them.
Exactly.
Shout out to the cops out here.
Why make a big deal? You make a look. We can sit here, we get upset and angry about them killing us. You get what I'm saying?
But we angry about
that
the
lady
wrong
ain't
thing.
lose her fucking
I'm gonna
life.
tell you what. Hold on.
Right.
I do agree with you, sis. No, sis.
Exactly.
I do agree. I do agree with y'all.
Mad because this fat ass black ass goddamn cop so goddamn programmed. Ain't no fucking mandate on no fucking mask, and you sitting here harassing a fucking citizen, a woman at that. That's why I'm looking at a woman at that.
I mean, I understand that.
Bending her goddamn arm back, and it was a white woman. But you bending her this woman arm back. I'm looking at this nigga as
we can't hear robot. You know we can't hear you, right?
I'm sorry, man.
He said he looking at them as a robot.
That man was a goddamn robot, man. I gotta run to the car real quick.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna say this.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that shit.
What color it is, if they motherfucking going against the people, man.
We can't hear you. So my friend Duke, again,
Right back.
he's gonna come right back.
Intermission.
It's an intermission for him. He doesn't understand. He's not. My nigga fucked up. Shout out to my nigga Duke. He's not following etiquette of the mic, so I know he knows better, but he's all right. I'm not mad at him. But I would say the world needs to understand, or rather, just men. I'm not gonna talk about the females because men cause this in a sense. Men need to learn how. You have to be hard only when you have to. When sitting down and showing respect to a woman doesn't mean you're not being a man about it, right?
That shit sad.
It's a lot
really
of men who
hard.
think
Sad as fuck.
It's hard in the sense just of
why is it hard? Tell me
why. It's not hard generally to actually show your sensitive side, but it is because a lot of the males in especially in my generation, they've been taught and programmed into a certain way of thinking. If you sensitive, then you're weak.
Gay or weak.
If you show some sign of affection, there's something wrong with you.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. No, Tevin. No, I agree with you. I don't like that, but I agree with you.
I don't like it either. But it's just like, okay, like men should feel this way. Men should be able to show their emotions, but it's very, very hard
if you show
for
your
a
emotions,
generation who's been taught not to fucking do that, to be able to fucking move that way.
If you show your emotions, you're weak. You're a bitch. You're gay.
This is where I come back to where when we are able to step out and look at ourselves as spirits and not just
a lot of people can't do that.
Well,
sis,
look, the people that are watching, if you want to take a step in life, step outside yourself and look at people as individuals, or look at people as we are not just what you see. It's more that, there's more to that person than what's on the surface. like what you saying about men not being able to express their feelings. That's actually something that, you know, that's been programmed.
Shout out to my niggas who do know how to express themselves.
Like, and I commend to the men that do as well, because it's a lot easier to have a conversation and communicate with the man that understands.
It's so much energy. Can you imagine just macho? Yeah.
Fucking Cat Williams.
You know what I mean?
Bro, Cat Williams made a joke about this shit all the time. You know niggas that's just mad they just fucking tough all the fucking time.
And they be
fucking flexing on a bowl of fucking Rice Krispies or some
the softest ones. They got the most feelings, and they literally. And I can't say this for every one of them, because all of y'all niggas that do be acting hard, y'all like to put your hands on females, and that shit ain't cool. But the ones that do put on that facade,
the damn microphone.
The ones that do put on the facade and wants to present themselves as this macho major man or whoever, like you know, King Kong or the Hulk. Like,
I got King Kong in the trunk.
Honestly, just express yourself and let it be known how you feel and how you really feel.
A lot of men can't though. Some men can't. Like for me, I always been the exception to the rule though. Like,
right.
A lot of niggas would be like, "Oh, Tim must have been gay. He was in show choir. He danced." I did a lot of shit just because I wanted to have fun. You know,
right?
I didn't really care about the whole ideology.
Bro, they said the same thing about me when I was in fucking drama.
Right? Yeah.
Right,
oh, you
but
did.
why?
It was the but
the thing. So sad.
Shout out. Hold on, wait a minute. Shout out to
Miss
Levin for letting me be in show choir. Continue.
I'm sorry for all the females that have called you out your name.
It's not even.
I'm sorry for all the females that have done you like that as well. Because me knowing, like, just getting to meet you and me knowing you and knowing you, like, y'all not like that.
Man,
y'all are just being y'all in your true form. I'm gonna just say it like that. Y'all in your godly form. Y'all are being the divine beings that y'all are supposed to be. Like, y'all living and actually going.
Bro, life's too short.
If I was white, I'd be a red tomato right now. If I was white,
y'all are actually succeeding in the lanes that y'all supposed to be in. Like, y'all going where y'all supposed to be.
But you have
at the end
to,
of the day, but you have to be able to get to know yourself. Like,
a lot of people
actually
don't.
Looking at yourself.
I'm still learning about myself though.
You know,
bro, point blank period. I'm myself.
Boy,
point blank period. I'm myself no matter where the fuck I go. Like, if I don't like something, I'm gonna tell you I don't like something. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you. If I don't fuck with you, I'm gonna tell you to your fucking face. Life's too short to be fake.
But you know what? I live in a world. I live in a world where everybody want to be friends with everybody, and for me, it doesn't apply.
It's a trend. That's why
I love being the bad guy.
Is that
I can't. Hell no.
Is that ass kissing over
kissing
there?
that ass? Kissing that booty, hell no.
Asses smell horrible. I ain't trying to kiss one.
Ass. Let me tell you something. My whole life, y'all, I love being a villain. Like, the older I get, I embrace it. Kanye West said, "So when they like you, make them unlike you." Because kissing people ass is so unlike you. I agree. I don't want people to like me. If I have friends and they still my friends after I say some grimy shit,
right?
Because a real friend will tell you something even when you don't want to hear what they have to say.
Right.
Damn, they said some shit. Damn, I want to say he right. He right, but I don't want to listen to what the fuck he just said or she said. Damn. You know what I mean? Like, what I'm getting at is, just be yourself and be brutally honest. Because a brutally honest motherfucker, they know when you tell your friend some shit, it's some gangsta ass shit, they ain't lying. Look, my nigga Kalashnikov, I told him some gangsta shit before. This nigga was mad at me. But guess what? He agreed.
And I'm going to say this for the people that feel as if that's not easy. It's a process.
It is.
Because
really
sometimes
is.
you find yourself being in that position where you deeply care for somebody and you don't want to hurt their feelings, right? But you thinking about that person's feelings is what's gonna fuck you
real.
Up. Like, you have to be able to speak and say what you feel, or not even just say what you feel, what you know.
Sometimes 100% truth can be 10,000% painful.
Right. Like, if you know that this person is about to make a decision that could affect their life in the future,
or affect you.
Do not sit there and try to sugarcoat that shit. Because if you sugarcoat it, it's going to go a completely different way. Yeah, like, it's not going to have the same impact as it would if you told them the truth.
I told my sis plenty of shit, brutally honest. Man, and she probably was like, she probably stepped back and like, damn, why you had to say it like that?
Nah, I'll be honest.
But she agreed, like, she understand where I was coming from.
Anything that you have ever told me, I done applied it to my life. And I done made some
I
changes.
already know what you got to say. That pretend gesture is aberration.
That is one thing that I literally be telling people as well. Like, that's something that you taught me. Pretend gestures of admiration. Like, that's something you can look at in different perspectives in life. Like, you can apply that to everything.
I use
a job, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a motherfucking family member, or whoever. Like, you can put this there. That's not.
That is a philosophy,
something that's
my
just
friend.
a narrow way to look.
It's
like
borderline
you
religion.
Point blank period. I'd rather hate you. Well, not necessarily hate you, but I'd rather be mad.
Cause you get over it eventually.
I'd rather be mad for you telling me some real shit than to be happy for you to tell me something that's fake,
bro.
Facts.
Because if I'm happy,
the truth and over a lie. Point blank period.
If I'm happy, and this is just my ideology. If I'm happy based off of some fake shit that you told me, then there's something wrong with me. And if there's something wrong with me, 9 times out of 10, I don't know about it.
So, like,
which is why
you're not being like, you're
not
knowing about that. Like, it's a lot of people that will tell you certain shit. Like, I've experienced it. I'm pretty sure you've experienced it too. Like, a person will tell you, you know, a lie or some shit. And you believe into it. You believe in that lie. You cannot be upset with yourself for believing in that. You trusted that person. You put your trust in that individual. All you can be upset is about, you know what, I should have never gave you that much trust. You have to expect the unexpected.
Motherfucker, at the end
with
of the day,
any and everybody. That's
length.
number one. Expect
Facts.
the unexpected with any and everybody, because you don't want to expect something from an individual and then find yourself being disappointed because that person couldn't come through on that.
Let me tell you something. That's some gangster shit. I agree. My name is Timothy Raw. This is Great Apes Cafe. Do anybody have any last minute remarks before we close this episode out? And I actually enjoyed this episode.
I love this
Me
episode.
too. What?
I was able to talk my shit the hardest way possible. Like, yo, motherfucker, I really want somebody to fucking, if you fucking disagree with anything in this fucking video, hit me up. Hit me. No, don't talk to them. Talk to me, because I want to smoke, motherfucker. You got a goddamn issue with anything that's going on in this fucking video. Hit it up in the fucking comments. Like, share, subscribe.
Are you going to comment, though?
Damn right.
Don't be scared.
Right,
don't be scared.
Okay,
and I'll be there. I'll say
Hit me up
this.
directly. Hit me up directly. Don't call them by name. Call me, Kalashnikov. Yo, I got a problem with this fucking video. I want all the motherfucking smoke. All of it.
Go with the fire,
all
too.
of it. I'm trying to give motherfuckers cancer at the end of the day.
Hold on, Cancer Man.
Since this is a podcast and this is the episode and I'm a guest on it, I will say that I'm honest. I'm glad and I'm honored to be on this, this podcast with
we
y'all.
appreciate you.
I hopefully that y'all will see me more, and I hope that y'all will.
You are
invite me
welcome
onto
to any
it
episode,
a lot more.
anytime. If you
And I
want
would
to be
say
like,
this: if anybody feels anything negative, like, feels any negativity from this video, it's not supposed to be felt like that. I feel as if
you feel negative from it, then you got a problem.
Exactly. But and I ain't even gonna say you have a problem. You need to be able to look at this from a different standpoint. At the end of the day, you are here to understand, you are here to observe, and you are here to experience life. Everybody is going to have a different perspective from you. And I feel like that is the best thing ever in life, because you'll be able to meet people that have different perspective or different opinions from you. Let me get
this
my
is
words
history
right.
anyway. Look,
So
she's the first woman
to be on the podcast.
So she has clear access. You have a green card. You can always come on any episode in the future, especially.
I'm gonna just pop up. Be like, what's up, y'all? What's good, team? What's up? You feel me? Like, I'm gonna just have to pop up on y'all.
Wagwan.
You feel me?
Let me tell y'all something right now, man. Should I welcome to any episode in the future?
I need to know what's your
that's my little sister.
Nationality, man. What's up?
I just found out my nigga's Haitian.
That's
today.
what that is. Yeah, because I got a friend that be saying that. They be like, always.
I'm part Haitian, I'm part German, black, and Hispanic.
My name is Timothy Raw. This is Great Apes Cafe. I'm a nigga deuce.
I want more.
I got some more.